Okay. I'm about a few minutes late, but we're here. So let me just pull up the stream, and then we'll get. I got the chapter pulled up. I haven't started it yet. I'm like 2 minutes, 3 minutes behind. I fell asleep, and then I immediately I woke up thinking it was like 9:45 or something. So I was like dead on time for the stream. I'm like, oh shit, I should probably go do that. I overslept, but I'm here now. Okay. Okay. I look for my water. Figure out where it is in a bit. Let me get stuff started. See how's going. What's up, Ashazor? How are you guys doing? Let me go see if I can find my water real fast. And if you guys have any questions, then when I get back, just take me a minute, and then we'll start. I have the chapter already pulled up and stuff. Alright, I'm back. I'll have to look for it later. I don't Chainsaw Man drop? We'll look at the Chainsaw Man after the chapter. The chapter? Yes. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm going to pull it up. Chapter's out. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm going to shut my door, actually. Hang on. Okay. Let's read the chapter. Okay. We got actually a nice cover I know everyone's going to really like. Oh, I stepped on a... Was this a thorn? What's this doing on my floor? You got a nice cover. It's a picture of Natsu and Suzaku standing next to each other. Pretty cool. Pretty nice one for the two of them. I don't know. Some guys do my it. So anyway, I'll get to some of the comments after the chapter. So we got another nice Dogremag panel. This one looks really nice. He's like charging in, but it's one of those ones where he's like slightly coming out of the panel. Looks pretty sweet. He just bashes into Natsu and Suzaku, knocks them both back. Let's see. I'm hoping we get another named attack from this chapter. That's something I'm really hoping for. Like Dogremag having the whole Earth Dragon God named attacks are pretty sweet. Suzaku's just talking. Ooh, hang on. There's a really cool panel. There's one of... Oh, hang on. There's one that seems to show like back when Elefseri and Dogremag fought. Elefseri has like a staff. He looks pretty cool. He's got like a staff and he's got like this cloak that covers up most of his body. He looks pretty badass, like an old style wizard. And Dogremag just kind of talking to him about it. Probably something to do with the events. I'm guessing he let him kind of kill him just to kind of get a hold of the heart. Potentially, maybe Elefseri actually was capable of beating him at the time. Ooh, he's using some more attacks. He's just lifting up some like big rock pillars, attacking him with them. He's doing like what's the attack that Jura had? The Rock Buster on Suzaku. He's covered Suzaku in just like a bunch of rocks, just completely surrounded him. I'm guessing Natsu's gonna like have to be able to probably like maybe either the end of this chapter or next chapter be able to melt the rocks or something. What happened to Selene? We'll see. Selene's on the like the little thumbnail for the chapter, so she's in here somewhere. But I'm guessing Natsu's gonna have to break Suzaku out of this. Maybe get to the point where he can melt the rock and just kind of like burst through. I would assume. Let me see. Okay, we're seeing her in the chapter. Okay, Lucy summons what, Pixis, and Lucy brings out like Pixis, and of course Pixis has no real value here, and it's just made fun of as usual. He doesn't have It's funny, like he's like I don't think he's ever had any form of part where he's been really useful. Like he's like every single time they pull this dude out, it's yeah, we're good. We don't really need a clock or not clock, a compass. We're fine. Let's see. I'm hoping we see some form of opposing force though for not Diablos, for the Fairy Tail members, because if they're splitting up, there has to be something to push back against them while they're doing this. There has to be some form of adversary. Selene is talking. It looks like she's got some form of thing going. She's like having a conversation with Gray. Let's see. They're destroying a couple cores. Nothing too crazy. They're just kind of like held there. Are we gonna see some enemies? Who's this? Hold on. There's a new guy. Is this a treasure hunter? I thought it was gonna be Madmole. It looked kind of like him, but there's like a new dude. Who the fuck's this guy? There's a guy with like a face tattoo. I'm guessing like a treasure hunter or somebody, but I don't know. Like, is a treasure hunter gonna be any form of value to fight? Who is this dude? I'm a little confused. I figured like Diablos or some form of Dogremag minion. Like maybe Dogremag kept like certain people alive that he liked. Maybe. I'm trying to think about this. Because there seems to be like way more like general kind of dialogue between like from Selene's side at least. Looks like we did get some lore, maybe a little bit, just kind of like backing on what was going on with Dogremag and what's going on with that fight, but it has me a little confused just because these new dudes, like what's the origin of them? That was actually really surprising, just because I didn't expect there to be some random new character. I just want to know who he is. I feel like he's just gonna be some like one-off dude. I don't know. Is there any information? Has anybody found anything? I can try and pull it up. Let me see real quick. I definitely read through this chapter. Well, I skimmed through the chapter, I guess, really fast. I have no like chapter context. Let me see if I can try and find anything. I can probably pull up. The chapter. We can find out some stuff. I do really like lore bits. Like seeing Elefseri with a staff, I think is super intriguing. Let's figure out who the fuck this guy is. Hold on. I have the app. I have the panel pulled up. Is it just like a treasure hunter? Who the fuck is this guy? Like, are we gonna see like a one of the rare treasure hunters that isn't like ass? But it's like, how is this guy gonna be so strong? Is he boosted by Dogremag? Who's this guy? I feel like it's just a treasure hunter. I feel like this is just some dude because he doesn't even look impressive. But like, what's gonna be the aim for it? Like, is it like maybe Dogremag? Maybe Dogremag could like revive people that have died within like his labyrinth or something. 'Cause I'm trying to figure out like what's gonna be significant about this dude. I figured it'd be somebody that like was already there, or a Dogremag minion, or a golem. There obviously has to be some form of enemy, depending on the degree of obviously like the situation. There has to be something to push back for him. The chapter's called like Quiet Wish or something. Such a like. This just feels like for the most part like a lore chapter. Like there's just gonna be like pretty much all the dialogue is gonna be important. It's not gonna be the same as like the last chapter is mostly kind of fight and setup. This just makes me a little mad though, because I'm just like, I read through the chapter and it's like, okay, cool, I can kind of get what's going on in the very end. I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? I need to figure out what's going on. And I'll get to the Four Knights and the Chainsaw Man chapter in a bit. I really want to look over this right now because I'm a little confused. It's one of those ones I feel like I need a little bit of fan translation for shit to make sense to me. What's poppin'? How's it going, Jeff? Chainsaw Man just dropped? Yeah, we'll read that too. Chapter's out, or you have to wait. It just came out. I was just a little late starting the stream. Let me pick a new background too, and then I'll get to the rest of the comments. Actually, no. Let me get to the comments first, and then I'll get to the background. Gray, you just don't shit about Gray. He's definitely not the Chad. Chad has a lot of story problems, where every time that he does something, starting in an arc, it's almost completely ignored and thrown away, and then he's kind of restarted. Like, every time he gets, like, a power-up thing, he gets destroyed, and then it's like, okay, well, what's he gonna do now? And then he goes to train again, and then he's supposed to be stronger, and then he loses again. Gray doesn't have that issue. Gray's problem is just Gray hasn't done anything in a while. Like, Mishima just hasn't given him, like, any real spotlight parts. There hasn't been anything really to focus. He's got an opponent now, but it's just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, is he just some treasure hunter? I really like the idea if Doggermag can revive people within his labyrinth. My only thing that's going to be weird with it is just like, is this dude just a treasure hunter? Is this guy just some random guy who has no real larger scale importance? I'm definitely curious about what's going on with him. Because this dude, the random character I did not expect. I was like, okay, we find eventually we're going to have some form of enemies for them to fight. You know, there was like, okay, Diablos members that are there, or say, like I said, Doggermag has minions of some sort. If it's like he can revive or something, like maybe he can revive people that have died within his labyrinth, that'd be really cool. So it's just like he can just throw all these kind of like one-off powerful treasure hunters that were strong but not strong enough for his labyrinth. I think that would be pretty cool. And it's like he just kind of used all this to set up like his, you know, some super master plan. I think that would be nice. I actually would like that. It would make Doggermag look really smart if he had something like that, where it's like, yeah, the labyrinth was part of my strategy, you know, the people showing up to die as part of my strategy. And then he's like, well, the best people that have died for it, I've ended up, you know, setting up in part of my my kind of like scheme. If it's literally just some random, if it's some random treasure hunter, the only thing I'm gonna wonder is like, how is this guy so strong? Because we know that the treasure hunters, this like what Sylph Labyrinth, like as far as we know, the top treasure hunter guild. I guess like I don't know, were they hyped up at any point? I'm trying to remember. I don't think they were. I just remember the guild itself. I don't remember if the group we saw like going into the Sun Village like had any form of value within them. I know that the Treasure Hunter Guild themselves, Sylph Labyrinth, that was like Sylph Labyrinth. The only thing we really have is like they won the Treasure Hunter equivalent of the Grand Magic Games, and at one point they had Hades, Warren, and Yuri as a member, like, way back. But that's, like, the only thing we really have for them. So, I don't know. If that would be, like, I'd be sorry if it would be Sylph Labyrinth again, though. Right now, my guess is just, like, he can revive people or something within his labyrinth. It's just because it being a random dude is just, like, it's a really weird twist. Just because who the fuck is it supposed to be? I'm very curious about this. This is definitely a weird twist. And is it just like some dude show? Because like the dude's like he has a cool face tattoo, but his design doesn't look overall that cool. So I'm wondering what exactly is gonna be the deal with this dude. Like this is just the ending is so weird. Like the rest of the it's so weird because like the rest of the chapter had a lot of really cool stuff, really cool dynamic. I've been really enjoying the Suzaku and Natsu panels. The Doggermag, the Doggermag lore, I really want to find out about that panel where he apparently, you know, when he fought Elefsera. Because Elefsera with the staff is really cool. I've had that talk about like how I wish bigger characters like staffs were the status symbol in Fairy Tail. Never got it. It's annoying because like he does somewhat show like characters with staffs usually are pretty hype, but like it's not a consistent thing. Like I wish staffs where like, oh yeah, you see a character with a staff, it means something. Like it means like, oh, this is a big deal character for X, Y, or Z because of their staff. Let me see if I can get any information at that panel where they were talking about the flashback. This cat, excuse me, Tarzan. I just needs to be able to see the screen. You can be up here. Hang on. Let me see if I can get anything. Like, I'm very curious about how when he was fighting. I think he's just saying that he's never fought a human so powerful. Oh, he was careless and he lost to him? I mean, that makes sense. Excuse me, cat. But he's saying he didn't die. Oh, he's returned himself to the soil. That makes sense. Like, he's an earth dragon, so there's a way for him to kind of do shit with the earth and survive. I think that makes complete sense. It's something like the... I'm so curious about just like the context between like what Celine's talking about too, because she's like having a conversation with Gray, and it's just like, why? For one, why Gray? I guess maybe Gray, like we're gonna see a scene with Gray soon. Maybe that's gonna be it. Like we're gonna get some dialogue with and some important stuff with Gray, and Celine will be like a good connecting point. I mean, Gray's like besides Lucy's, she's probably like the best. He's probably like the best person for her to contact, because like Lucy's pretty obviously intelligent. I do see at some point it looks like she says 62. I'm guessing 62 is the number at that point that they have, and that's at the where like the chapter kind of ends, like going to Gray. Like the treasure hunter plotline, I'm so curious as to this, because it's just like, what is like the amount that this guy's gonna bring to the table is what I'm curious about. Because if it's just some random treasure hunter, I don't know what's stopping Gray from just flash freezing him, calling him good. Unless this guy's supposed to be powerful, but like I'm just very uncertain about this. It's like, is he just some random guy that's gonna be powerful? Is he just gonna be tricky? Does he have to do directly with Dogromag? What's the status on this? New dude? Yeah, the new... I'm so confused about the new dude. You can do the chapter. You gotta get the manga poke app. You guys know God's Trainer showed 5 out of 8? Yeah, because he showed a lightning. Wasted potential. The thing is, like, I can't get mad at stuff like that when it makes complete sense. When God Serena gets in a spot where logically the character he's trying to fight is going to murder him, is what it is. I'm more for what makes sense to the scene, more than just like keeping a character around to be cool. If a character's cool, but they're in a spot where logically they would get killed, I'm for it. It's the same thing with like Georg and Celine. As cool as Georg is, like design, almost take up for that, design wise and whatnot. Celine pissed off, wanting to kill him right in front of him. Yeah, he's dead. Like unless the whole theory that he's got like a phoenix power and he's gonna revive at some point, I don't see any form of way for him to come out of that. Like, okay. So even though God Serena was cool because like the whole 8 Lockerma thing, but he didn't have anything in the story for investment yet. Like he was at a spot where he should have. It's a little weird, but he never got to have that kind of like the general stocks of importance. We never got his backstory or a connection to another character or anything that made his character valuable, other than that he's like a powerful bad guy. You know, he had some form of relevance, but it was never expanded upon beyond like the general aspects that we knew from just like a strength-wise setup. We never like found out like, oh, he's got some form of personal... Like, if we found out, like, the stuff, like, a personal beef with Gildar, it's like there was a past there or something, it'd be like, yeah, because then we got to see, like, how that kind of plays out. But we really didn't get anything from Godstern from, like, a story build. It's just, like, we knew that he was strong, he was a traitor, and that's about it. Iron Nancy absent from social media for 2 months. I don't think he's dead. I have no idea what happened to him. I can try and message him on Twitter or something. What is that sound? Hold on. Okay, everybody. I think my girl opened one of the doors while the security system was on, so it was just beeping. What's up there, Crystals? How are you doing, though? Can Wendy status affect Hikari's jackpot curse technique? She could probably do it with like a separation enchantment. Maybe do Senma. I don't know if she can just kind of like undo it. Well, I know that she has ways of doing it, but primarily it's going to be separation enchantment. Because I don't know if Do Senma is going to fall under the same concepts, but if it did, or rather, if it does, then obviously, yeah. Separation enchantment, I'd be willing to bet she could for sure. Dogman finally getting nerfed. Well, it's like, I don't think it's really getting nerfed. It seems more like he cheated to get stronger. And I'm liking the idea, though, it's like, if he could revive people within the labyrinth that have died or something. Because, like, it'd be really sweet if he just big-brained a lot of this, and he set up a lot of different ways for, like, the labyrinth to be useful and have a lot of different utility while he's doing this. I think that'll be really cool, because I like that. I like when characters do have, like, general utility things that are just beneficial to their overall, pretty much their overall setup. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, some crazy bonus, but it's just like, yeah, you know, I've got this, like, little trait ability that makes whatever X, Y, or Z more capable, more useful, and it's going to have, like, a better setup. I want to see Igneous minions. Yeah, Igneous, I assume, will just be, like, these battle-hungry dudes. Or, like, just other dragons, and it would be really cool. I would really like him Ignea. Like, my hope for Ignea would be either he has, like, dragons that, like, have survived, and he's kept them kind of, like, in a spot. Or, like, imagine he takes a couple characters, forces them to become dragon slayers, and then makes them get stronger until they get to the point where they can turn into dragons, and he's just got a couple dragon slayers on the side that he fights. I think that'd be really cool. Like, he's just like, yeah, you guys are like cattle, and he's just treating, like, these characters that would seem pretty powerful as nothing but, like, throwaway punching bags for him. It'd be cool if Doggermag was this labyrinth version of a necromancer. Yeah, I just talked about that. We were on the same point with that. Maybe Selene would kill Masaki and Doggermag would revive her. I don't know why she would kill Masaki, though. I feel like if Masaki was going to be in this again, she can just do it herself. Like, I feel like out of them, she logically, you could have her just be pissed off and want to get revenge on Urza because she decided to be stupid and kept underestimating her. Does she also don't want to introduce any of Selene's sons to just some random treasure hunter? Well, the problem is I don't think it would make sense really for Selene's sons to be involved right now. I think maybe like one, like if one of them sided with Igni and Doggermag, but it'd be weird if like they were introduced as enemies right now because Selene is on the protagonist side at the moment. So I feel like the dragons that if we do see them at some point, well, I'm hoping we see them at some point. I was gonna say at some point soon, but it's like whenever we get to them, I'm hoping that they're going to be obviously teamed up with Selene. I don't think it would make a lot of sense if all of them were just against Selene right now and we didn't have proper information. Like maybe it's like our mother has lost her way. She's just like lazy and she just wants to help the humans, so they turn. There has to be like an important reason, because like I could see like if one didn't want to be on her side, but it's like if all of them just are traitors, then we need to have some form of proper story bit that explains what's going on with Selene's kids. Have I read the Chainsaw Man chapter? Not yet. I'm going to though. Why the hell did Machine Major God's Ring just throw him away? Well, the thing is, like I said, God's Ring is cool, but like God's Ring was ultimately just a measuring stick character from what we got. But yeah, a character like that, when they get into a spot where it logically is that they should die, I think they should die. It's the same thing with Georg. One of them I'd say more so is more of the complaint is like Ivan, because it's just like Ivan didn't even need to get written off. He just Mishima didn't like him anymore. 3 Dudes God Serena fought August, Irene, and I guess Phantom One Master had what? What are you talking about? When did he fight August or Irene? Or can you see the new chapter? It's on the Manga Poke app. I will read the new Chainsaw Man chapter. We'll see Selene's sons. I think we will at some point. Hope the new dude role isn't like some treasure hunt from the Sun Village. I feel like he's gonna be like he's either gonna be. I feel like he's got to be somehow like Doggermag controlled or something, because like is this just gonna be some random treasure hunter that's gonna be powerful enough to fight like Gray or something? But like, even if he is, if he's just one random really strong treasure hunter for whatever reason, what's gonna be the plan for like the other people? Because if there's still 60 something Lacrima, or I guess it was just Doberman cores or whatever, then what exactly is going to be like the other groups? There's gonna be this one guy. Right now, my guess is Dogremag is controlling this guy somehow. Like I said, like he can revive maybe people that have died within his labyrinth, and that'd be pretty. I think that'd be super sick. But at the same time, it would definitely make sense of why you could just have some random character and be like, yeah, he's as powerful as, like, you know, a Spriggan tier person. Because it's not like characters being within that tier, like people scattered throughout the world is unbelievable. Like, there being characters who are that powerful, but you don't really know about them because they're somewhere far off in uncharted areas of the world. I think that's fine. It depends on how much you do it. Like, if it's like every character we come across is a Spriggan tier, it's just like, goddamn, what the fuck? Like, you know, Zara should have just walked down the street somewhere else, found it. But it's like, no, as long as they're kind of like less known, and you know, one out of whatever kind of like within an area, 1 out of a million, or you know, something like that. Not like literally those statistics, but you know what I mean. Where it's just like it's just a rare character. If it's something like Dogremag is reviving him and buffing him, I think that's fine. Then you know, just make it some random guy that came in or died, has a cool magic or cool trinkets. I wonder what we'll see from this guy, though. Because if he's a treasure hunter, like, is he going to use magic? Is he going to use curses, spiritual arts? Are we going to see something different? Is he going to be, like, mastered in, like, magic items? Like, if he just keeps pulling out, like, tools and trinkets, I think that'd be pretty sweet. You see the recent chapter Ian Zero in regards to St. Firenox? Yeah, I saw that. The whole stuff with Rebecca was pretty weird. I wasn't expecting that twist. I figured Rebecca would have something more like, if we were gonna find out about her parents, she would be like I would figure one of her parents that we'd see would be somehow more connected to the whole Union, the whole Interstellar. I'm trying to remember the name. Interstellar Federation. Oh my god, that's gonna bother me. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. Interstellar. I forget, legit, I've been forgetting the name of the Interstellar Union Army. I forget forgetting the name of that side of things, of like the part of Eden Zero for so long. Like, since they were introduced. Like, I remember, I think it was because the fan translation, I got used to that, and then I kept trying to memorize it, the other one, but I just kept thinking of the first one. Yeah, Interstellar Union Army. I figured she would have some form of lore there, like one of her parents is some big deal character that was like a general or something that died. That was my guess. I didn't think it'd be St. Firenox. That was 100% something I didn't foresee. So I'm hyped to see where that goes and what Mishima's going to do with it. New dude looks like a treasure hunter. Yeah, the new dude doesn't look that cool. That's why I'm a little confused, because he looks just kind of like a short enemy. But, like, what's going to be the context? Like, what exactly are we going to get from him that is going to show us this guy's, like, higher-end value, and, like, what is he going to really kind of bring to the table? Gotta link the new chapter. I don't yet, but I can link, Tartaros. I'm busy. Shush. But I can post a link to the guy on Twitter who posted all the chapters. Tartaros. Oh my god, you loud cat. Come here. Sit down. Yeah, Interstellar Union Army. I forget it all the time. Like, legit, I forget that part all the time. Oh, and the treasure hunter to say his name is Levin Glory. He came to hunt the Dark Brain in the Labyrinth. I mean, that'd be funny, but, like, he doesn't look anything like Levin. The Aldorn arc, we got a whole army. Of course, a random dude can just appear and be sprayed through. What are you talking about, the whole army? We had, like, the army of like, Giltina, but we didn't have, like, an army of characters that were this powerful. This random dude, I'm curious to know, like, how he's going to be as strong as where he's going to need to be with Gray. Maybe he's not going to be that strong. He's going to be tricky. Or maybe he is strong, but it's, like, got to do with Dogremag. Or maybe he's the powerful guy in general. I think as long as, like, it have to depend on how it's portrayed. If he's just some guy that's, you know, pretty powerful, he's able to contend, I'm fine with that. It just depends on like how it's kind of all given to us and explained. Because I think that if, you know, there's just some really powerful character, he's somewhere out in the world, he's a treasure hunter, he knows of the Dogromag Labyrinth, he's heard of it, he wants to go explore it and get the treasures out of it, so he shows up. I think that's fine. I think that's completely fine. Because Gray is still within an area that a character like that could show up and he could fight him and be relevant without it being too crazy. Whereas like Natsu, the second Natsu goes in his upper forms and stuff, like he should just completely crush some of these guys because he's got just that extra kind of step and feats and displays of strength that Gray doesn't have, like way more than anybody else in the main cast. Urza is a little bit harder after the fight with Misaki, but I think Gray and like Lucy are still within range of that. Wendy's starting to kind of like peer out of that general area. Like her and Urza are both kind of like, they're in between, like where I put, like if you looked at the main cast of where that kind of like that danger factor is for like their level. Natsu obviously be at the front, and then I'd probably say Urza and Wendy right now just because of their level of hype and hacks that's like up and coming. And then with Lucy and Gray just right now, because Lucy's like getting there. She's obviously making a lot of strides. She has like a lot of danger factor in her hacks. Gray just hasn't gotten anything new recently, and maybe that's what we're gonna get with Gray soon, and we got some focus on Gray. I hope Suzaku's okay. I don't want him to leave the fight. I think he'll be fine. I think he's just got to break out. So we only have 3 pages for now. No, we have the whole chapter. Saint Fire makes me think of an older-looking Mavis. I haven't seen it. I Laxus using Fairy Law or Ivan showing up. Ivan's not gonna show up. For sure. Dogromag Minion, he looks like an irrelevant dude. Yeah, it's really weird because like he doesn't look like some hype new guy. He looks just like some random character that joins up, and that's why everything to me is a little bit confusing. Because I didn't expect this character to like really even exist. I wasn't expecting just some random dude. Oh my god, this cat. Hang on. Buddy, come here. Comes in here, he wants to come in, and then I'm busy, and then he just wants to be loud. Okay, you just sit here. I'm just gonna give this cat some attention. Maybe he'll stop. I really wish we had like the fan. These are the ones that make me mad when we don't have the fan translations, and I gotta wait. Because I feel like a lot of this is just like I need to know the context, like the whole conversation between Gray and Celine. Gray and Celine's parts is very interesting, just in general, because it makes me wonder, like, why exactly did Mishima pick Gray to talk to Celine over all this stuff? Whatever's going on, whatever the general conversation back and forth between the two of them. Natsu, Urza, Wendy, Gray, Lucy, Carla, Happy. I mean, I'm not mad at that. Tardos is your happy. Tardos is a good boy. He's just loud. But he came in here and then he decided he wanted to leave as soon as you shut the door. I don't think he liked that I shut the door. You're fine in your butt. It might be too hot for him. You're fine. I got the fan on. Here. Turn this on, this cat. Alright. Where's my phone at? Let's read the let me get one of the panels, and I'll set up a new panel for the chapter, and then we'll I'm thinking of looking at Four Knights, and then we'll probably look at Chainsaw Man. I want to put this I really like this Dogromag charging panel. It just looks cool. Like, Dogromag has had a lot of really good panels. I've appreciated that a lot. Let me see. I'm going to pull this up really fast, and then I'll get to Four Knights. Because I've already read the Eden Zero chapter. I haven't read the Four Knights chapter. I've only seen like one spoiler of it. I've seen like one image. I want to get the full context. And I was right about something. I want to look at it. So let me pull up, let me change the image. I'll show you the panel I was talking about if you haven't seen it yet, for anybody who hasn't. Like, I just like this Dogromag panel. He just looks cool. He's just this big fucking tank running down. Alright. Let me get to, oh my god. Charters, stop it. The people don't have time for you right now. They're busy. That's so weird, like, once we get, like I said, once we get to the context and like the understanding of like the conversations, I mean, I think in general I'm gonna really like this chapter. It's gonna depend on like where I rank it. The stuff with seeing Georg and Dogromeg's fight, even though that was a brief moment, I'm hoping we get it more later. That was one of the things I really wanted to get a look at, so I'm pretty hyped about that. And the fact he had a staff makes me really, really curious. Because I feel like Mishima just didn't draw the staff for no reason. Is the staff going to be valuable? Is it going to be a lore piece? Maybe there's going to be some connection to the White Wizard. I know people have had that distinction with Eleftheria, which I think so too. I think Eleftheria being the White Wizard would make sense, but we'll see. All right, let me pull up the Four Knights chapter. We'll do Four Knights and then we'll do Chainsaw Man. So let's see. Let's look at the chapter. And if you have any more questions, just ask while I'm going through this, and we'll get through this. Rebecca Knox. Oh, that is a cool name. Well, is Knox her first name or is Knox her last name? Because is Saint Fire be a title? Let me see real quick. The chapter. I know a little bit of what happened because the very end of the last chapter, it was like we had Marascula like using the chaos stuff. Oh my god, this cat. Tartaros, buddy, come here. Why are you being so loud? Come here. This fucking cat. I like Gwen so far. I think she's fine. I wish her hairstyle wasn't so plain. I wish they gave her like just something to kind of give her a little bit more anime hairstyle. Okay, we had them fused, Marascula fused with Galen. I like the weird Galen chest face, and then like the snake body on top. The snake body on top definitely gives me some Dark Souls vibes, which I'm hyped about. But they're gonna have to team up now to fight the fight against the fused Galen Marascula. I hope they give him a name, Galascula or something. Marasculan. I think Galascula makes more sense, but. I guess they're all going to team up. I mean, this is generally just a really big, crazy hype fight. I want to see what's going on generally more with the... I want to find out more what's happening with the Star Visor dude. Just because, like, I'm guessing that's going to be the Ironside's equivalent to Lancelot and going to be a longer-running bad guy. Oh, there's Cheon. I don't give a shit about Cheon. I think he's annoying. Are we going to see the Star Visor guy? I just want to see what he looks like. Oh, we do get a little bit of him. Oh, he looks cool. Ooh, I wonder what his magic is. Like, he shows up, I think, to kill Cheon or something? Or does Cheon and them get in his way? Because Cheon, like, it looks like he's wearing restraints. Yeah, he's got shackles on. He's in jail. This guy, his whole setup, I like the Star Visor. He's got some pretty fair shoulder pieces. I like his helmet. And he's got like an Executioner's blade, kind of like Zeldris, which I like. Yeah, this guy looks pretty neat. I wonder what his name is. I'm guessing he came here to get, to maybe get Cheon, because Cheon's a traitor, question mark? Potentially. I think that would make sense. Classroom of the Elite. I might have heard about it. Melascalin? That's a little hard to say. I like Galanscalin or whatever. Saint Fire Knox title is the Archbishop. That's true. You're right on that one. I forgot the Archbishop is the thing. So I guess Saint Fire is her name? Or is it... Maybe it's one of those things where it's like reverse and Knox is her first name, Saint Fire's last name, so Rebecca Saint Fire. I like Rebecca Knox more. What do you think of the three unused elements for God's Arena? I would always guess it'd be something kind of standard, like poison, shadow, dark, like stuff we've already seen for the most part. I'm gonna pull up the Viz app because we're gonna read the Chainsaw Man chapter 2 before I send out of here. Let me see. Chainsaw Man, new chapter. I'm gonna end this